Hello, welcome to my channel. Start from this video, we will cover JavaScript objects. And the first video I'm going to cover is what is an object in JavaScript. Okay, let's take a look at objects are used to store keyed collections of various data and more complex entities. And in previous several videos, we introduced about numbers, right, which represent a single value, 0 or 0.0, 1.0, numbers, and all Boolean type. Boolean also like a true or false, right, and also undefined, none, what other, a string. They are all representing a single value. But objects, you can store multiple values. It's kind of like a collection, but a collection also have a key. What is a key? We will say properties. Okay, so it's gonna have a properties, have a name, have a values for each property. Like a student can have a first name, last name, student ID, and can have a courses. Okay, courses is in the courses, it's gonna become an array, and it's gonna have several courses inside. Like you have a math course, you have a Chinese course, you have English course. So objects can have can store many data. Okay, not a single data. An object can be created using figure brackets with optional list of properties. Where's my pointer? Where's my pointer? Seems my pen, this one probably doesn't work. I probably did something. Oh, let me see here. Okay, I was just using this one. I don't want to redo. So objects can be created with this one. Normally, I will call them as brace, okay, with an optional list of properties. Properties are these keys I talked about, okay, this keyed collection key, okay. Properties like student first name, last name, student ID. A property is a key value pair, okay, it's a key value pair. So, my understanding was a little bit different. Okay, anyway, he said a property is a key value pair here, and a where key is a string, also called a property name, and the value can be anything. And this anything, it means any value which is available, which is valid inside the JavaScript. So now let's take a look at how we get an object. The first one we will cover later, which is using the new objects. Some people are familiar with Java. In Java, if we want to create an object, we're also using new. And JavaScript, you can also use a new object. Okay, and this one we'll talk about later. Okay, for this case. Okay, and the one we will cover in this video is this one, and which doesn't exist in Java language. And this one is special in JavaScript called object literal, okay, which is using what's thing? The figure bracket, I will say brace, okay. And inside here, in this case, user2 currently is an object, but doesn't have any properties, okay, because there's nothing inside, just an empty, right? And the properties, they are optional. Now let's take a look at some examples. The first one is let user equals, okay, a brace. Inside brace, you have one property and a second property, and you have a third property, okay. And the property is a key value pair. So the first property, the key is name, the value is John. Second property, the key is age, the value is 30. Third one, the property, okay, this one. It's a likes birds, and the value is true. And here we have to be careful, because for the third one, okay, it's not a single word. It has two words, and also has space between them. if we have this kind of property name, you must double quotes them. Okay, you must quote, double quotes or single quote, doesn't matter. Okay, but you have to have quote. If you don't have a quote, it's gonna have errors. Okay, so how to get the value of each property? You can using object, okay, which is user, and using dot notation, user dot name. This name is a property name, and use dot age, it's gonna give 30. You can also update a property value, like how to do. You reassign, like user dot name equals miss xing. Okay, then it's gonna, when you try to read a property again, you will get a miss xing because it's been updated. Okay, you can also add a new property. So far, our user only have 3 property: name, age, likes bird. And if you add new one, like this one, I add a nationality and I give China. Okay, then when I log user, you will see 1, 2. Here should here have one missing. It should also have like birds. Okay, and how you delete a property using the operator called delete. Okay, keyword. Okay, delete a keyword and you delete this one. When you delete, you will have 2. Actually, in this case, should be 3. Okay, because I probably did something which didn't add this like birds. Let me show you. It should have. Okay. Let me open my Visual Studio Code. Oh, I opened the wrong one. Okay, done. Okay, here now I'll do later. I haven't worked it for 3 days. Okay, so I'll go to objects and I will go to object demo. Here, let me see. Okay, here let me console the log user first. Okay, here I will do a console dot log user. Okay, this is the first one, and let me open in the browser, and we'll have this one. Okay, ready here. Inspect develop tool. You will see an object. What is? Oh, I have to, let me comment this one first. Okay, there. And refresh. And in this case, when I console.log user, you will see name, age, and like bird, right? Like this way. Okay. No doubt. Okay, user. And this is object being printed in the console like birds. Okay, see here, like birds. And first I will show you if I don't have the quotes. Okay, if I don't have a quotes, you will see error. See, take a look at here. Okay, boolean and something comma expected, because doesn't match the syntax. And you can using single quote, you can also using double quotes. Let me using single quote to, it's like a string, right? In JavaScript string, you can using single quote, you can use double quote. It also works. Okay, now how to read the property? How to read the property? Let's give, you have John and 30. This is called a dot notation, which is user this object, then dot property name followed by. And how to reach this one? It's gonna be, you cannot using dot notation, because if I want to get the birds, user dot like bird, it doesn't work like this way. We will show you another way to do it. Okay, you can see here, doesn't work. You cannot using dot notation. So in this case, doesn't work. If the property name contains multiple words, and which means have space between them, okay, then you cannot using dot notation to reach it. Okay, and this one is update property update. Okay, you will see when after I update, when I retrieve again, you will get the updated value. And this one is to add a new one. Now let's add a new one. See here, I have name, age, like birth, and nationality, which is add a new one. Okay, you can also add functions. You can also add functions. Let me add a function for, suppose I call get name. Okay, you can give a function like a return this dot name. We will talk about this keyword later. Okay, we will have a separate module to talk about this keyword, because this keyword inside JavaScript is very, very complicated. But here I just show you, you can also add a function. When we add a function, and in this case getName will become a method. That's a special calling. It's like if a function belongs to an object, we will call it to be a method. You can see here I have getName, and you will see what it is, right? Okay, this is this part. And now how to delete a property, delete it. And after delete, I should copy this one. Comment has some error. Okay, you should also have this one. Okay, previous I should also have this one. And if I don't have this one, okay, the object. Okay, and when I delete a user age, this one is deleted user age. So obviously after I deleted the user age, we just don't have a user age now. Okay, but we do have a like birds and others. Okay, now we delete, you will see have oh, I didn't cancel the log. Let me cancel the log. You will see here name, like bird, nationality, but I don't have age anymore. Okay, so that's how you use object literal. Okay, now let's continue. We talk about when we want, I just show you guys, when we want to retrieve the value for like birds, you cannot using dot notation. Okay, how to access them? You're using bracket, square bracket. Okay, the dot requires a key to be a valid variable identifier. That implies it contains no space, doesn't start with a digit, and doesn't include any special characters instead of $sign and underscore are allowed. That's why you cannot using dot notation, because it has to be a valid variable identifier. JavaScript a valid variable identifiers can only contains $sign and underscore, can contains digit, letters, but digit cannot start with digit. Okay, so how to get it? There's an alternative square bracket notation that works with any string, no matter if it contains space. Okay, so how to do it? We do like this way. Like do I have a square bracket, actually this one. Okay, let me comment. So now let's take a look at here. My user is an empty object. If you want to have a property and the value is called the property name is like birds to be added, you using like this syntax, which is like this way. Like this way. Okay, and how to retrieve? Also using bracket. For this double quotes, you can using single quote, doesn't matter. And how to delete? Still same. Now let me show you here. After I do this one, I will just say over user, and you will see, and we don't have user here anymore. Oh, we have. After delete, we don't have. Okay, let me refresh. You will see like birds. Okay, and it's true because I set like a bird here, right? And when I access it, you still need to using the bracket notation. Bracket, okay, square bracket. And after delete, and I will cancel log user again. Okay, now I refresh. You will see an empty because I deleted. Okay, that's a bracket. Okay. Now let's continue. We already show you, okay? So square bracket also provide a way to obtain the property name as a result of any expression as opposed to a literal string. So how to do? You can also you can do like this way, which means this key will hold the value called like birds, okay? And this way only this user key is gonna be same as here you directly pass like birds, okay? Now let me show you. Suppose I have this one and I have a let key, okay, and I will have this let user. Currently my let user is empty object. I have a let key. In the future, this one will be gonna be populated. The value gonna be populated by other function or methods. Okay, so here we just hard coded, and now I have user key equal true. In this case, if we console log the user, okay, it's not like this. Okay, this one is it's not. Okay, it's not like a user. It's the object won't become like a key. The property name is not a key, true. Okay. What's the okay? This one is not, because the key will be resolved as this value. Okay, so eventually you're gonna get an object which is like bird, and which is true. Okay, and here it's better to add this one. Now let me show you. Not here. Okay, here let me refresh. You will see like birds true, but now let me change a little bit. Okay, I'm still the user, but now here I will using dot notation. In this case, you will see totally different values being printed. You will see key equals to true. You can see key. The reason that's the power of bracket notation. Bracket can when we're using bracket notation, it will resolve the value of the variable. Okay, but if we're using dot notation, he will think you want the property name to be key. Okay, not the value, not this variable. Okay, he will think in dot notation, he will think the property name is a key, which is look like this way, which is same as if we're using equals true. This one, when executed as in bracket, it's gonna be look like this way, and when we're using this one, these two are different. Okay, the 20 line 25 and 26 they are equal. Okay, but 27 is different because this key is a variable. Okay, and when we're using bracket notation, you will think, okay, this is a variable, so I will get this value and put it here. So user and like this way, what I did. Okay, that's the difference. When we're using dot notation, these two are the same. And when we use bracket, these two are the same. Okay, so if I do both, you will have both. Okay, in the user, you will have like birds, you will have key. Okay, so that's the power of bracket, which here. The variable key may be calculated at the runtime and depends on the user's input, and then we use it to access a property. So here we have another example. The person name is John, age is this one, and the later result equals name. And when we're using person result, okay, then you can get the John because this result is gonna be the name, this property, okay, eventually. But when you're using person.result, you will get undefined. That's the default value is undefined, which means result cannot be defined. because person dot result is trying to find if in the object person do I have a property name called result. I don't have. In JavaScript, if you don't have, it will give you undefined. And for this case, it says what? In a person, okay, bracket notation, then I can do calculation. First check, do I have a variable has a result? Yes, I have a variable result, okay? And what's the value called a name? So the person actually gonna become like this way, right? Name. And we do have a name property, which is John. That's why you can access it, okay? So this is this part. I hope you guys don't have questions, okay? And next one. Property value shorthand, okay? In a real world, we often using existing variable as values for property names, which is like this way. When we want to, this is we have a function to make a user, we give name and age, and we want to return an object. The property name is name, and the value is the name, okay? Which is the hold by the variable name, right? And the property name is age, and the value is the value is the value of age. This is a variable hold. And we can make a user and pass a name and John, and this user gonna have what? User gonna have a name is John, age is 30, right? And here when we use $name, you get John. And the shorthand is because this variable name, okay, this property name is the same as a variable name, and this property name is same as a variable name. So you can use in shorthand, okay, like this: return name and age. This name here gonna be same as like a name. Okay, this age is same as age, and have a column age, which is key and value. Key is age, value is this variable age hold. Okay. That is this one. Property name limitations. And as we know, when we define a variable, which is like a let I equals something, right? This variable cannot have a name equal to one of the language reserved words like a for, let, return, function, while, do, okay, while, class. The variable name cannot be them, okay? But for an object property, there's no limitation on property names. You can have an object here, have for, let, return, okay? And you can retrieve it. Let me show you. Do I have here? I'm not here. Property value. Oh, here. Okay, this is this one I don't want to show you. I will show you the others. Okay, wait for a second, because I mixed the property, mixed the not here. Okay. Now let me show you this one. For the shorthand, you do by yourself. Okay. And now let's see. First, I want to show you if I have let 4 equals 9. You will have error. The reason is 4 is a keyword, and this keyword is a reserved words, right? You cannot use it as a variable name. Like if I want to use return, you cannot. See here, you have error here, right? Because they are reserved words. But for the property name, they are all fine, like this one. This one, I have object, and it's object literal, okay, object literal, and I have a property name for, value is 1, property name let, value is 2, property name return, value is 3. And when we do, you can get it, okay? So when we 4 plus let and plus run, you will see, return, you will see 6, okay? I have to open another one. Okay, open console. And here you will see 6 here. Okay, they can reach it. So there's no limitation on the names. But normally we will choose the property name based on the semantic meaning, right? If it's a student, we choose the first name, last name to represent their names, right? We want to choose for and let for their names, right? So based on the semantic meaning, you will give a better name. Okay, so that's it for this video, and thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.